Here with Jonathan Schanzer. He's a Mideast terrorism expert at the Foundation of Defense of Democracies. Jonathan, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Let me just play some sound first off to tee this up. This is sound from Congressman Adam Schiff from State of the Union here on CNN.
So our intelligence was good, but nonetheless, this was an extraordinary risk. If one of our people were captured, if we lost some of our special forces, there'd be tough questions to answer about whether it was worth it.
Whether it was worth it, that's where I wanted to begin with you, because knowing the brutality ISIS is capable of if they captured U.S. commandos, does the congressman, Jonathan, does he have a point? Is it worth the risk?
Well, he has a point, but I think there are a couple of other points worth making. One, I think there is some dispute right now as to whether this was, in fact, the intended target, the so-called CFO. We've been hearing some chatter from the region that perhaps there were other people who were intended targets, perhaps even higher-level military targets. Of course, if there is that treasure trove that was captured, laptop computers and other documents, it could be crucial to understanding those flows of finance because, of course, that financial war is a crucial one in battling ISIS.
I want to get to the treasure trove in a minute, but I wondered the same when I read his name, why this ISIS leader would be so valuable, and with so many other high-value targets. I'm left wondering, too, how many raids, Jonathan, perhaps the U.S. is carrying out in secret that we just simply don't know about.
Well, I would hope that there would be many more of them. And of course, during the surge in Iraq, there were, 4 or 5 of these sorts of raids every day. So of course, the risk was just as high back then as it is now. I think there's just less of an appetite on the part of this administration to put boots on the ground, as we all know. And so now you see these raids happening less and less.
When we talk about, too, this treasure trove, the computers, the intel they grabbed, what do you think they'll find? What do you think they're hoping they will find?
Well, look, we know that a significant source of revenue for ISIS is the sale of oil. And we know that the sale of oil primarily happens over the Turkish border. There's a 565-mile border there where smugglers are bringing oil in, and ISIS is able to reap the rewards. If we're able to identify who these individuals are, we could begin to see financial action taken against them by the U.S. Treasury Department. We could see operations against them. It would be really a major victory for us if we were able to secure that border in a way that oil could not be sold there.
Did I read that you think the U.S. is not doing enough when it comes to this fight?
Well, look, I think that the U.S. Is to a certain extent not taking all the steps necessary. There certainly is more room for raids along the lines of what we just saw over the weekend. That's one thing. I think, we've seen a relatively small number of bombing raids take place relative to other actions that we've taken in the past. And so I think there's real concern. But I think more broadly, we're looking at the response right now. Sure, we're calling in airstrikes, but we're also allowing Iranian-backed militias to join the fight. And of course, among those militias are Kataib Hezbollah. This is a militia that has been designated by the U.S. Treasury for destabilizing Iraq, designated back in 2009, and here we are allowing them to march in. So
But we've known that Iran, I think this fascinates me, we've known that Iran has supported this effort in Iraq. What do you think, what is Iran trying to do? Really emerge as like the power player in the region?
Oh, absolutely. This is an aspiring hegemony. They're looking to capture as much of Iraq as possible. And so when ISIS comes in and takes a town like Ramadi, Iran looks at this as an opportunity for them to come in with their militias and take over. And so you've got IRGC, the Revolutionary Guards of Iran, capturing more and more territory inside Iraq and Syria. This is very much a part of their strategy.
Jonathan Schanzer, thank you so much. Come back.